Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Project Athena, brought to you by the Opportunity League and Just Goat. We are going to get into this third matchup of the evening. It is 6IXNATIONHQ versus RANDYS. And to start us off, I'm just going to give a little bit of tidbit here. We have a little bit of a roster change on the side of 6IXNATIONHQ, where AJ has pulled out of the team and is being replaced by a player named Iseria. So this will be her debut performance for you all this evening in this matchup now. And also, Dino, did you know it is Strawb's birthday? So Strawb on the side of 6IXNATIONHQ, it's actually her birthday today. So I think I'm going to sing a little happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Strawb. Happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday.
you. Thank you. We're here all week.
See, you're a professionally trained singer, and I'm me.
Yes.
So just I contributed.
You just gotta.
I contributed.
It's fine. You just gotta meme with it. Just gotta meme with it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to quickly look at these map bans now, so we can get stuck into the action sooner rather than later. Let's have a little drum roll. Dino, 6Nation immediately banning out Bank, Chalet being banned out in retaliation, then Cafe, Coastline, Oregon, Clubhouse, another Villa.
Another Villa. Can we get 4-4?
Potentially, we'll see how that final match goes. Maybe we will get a full Villa evening for you all, but of course, this is matchup number 3. This will be a barn burner. Genuinely, this will be a barn burner. Both these teams, a lot of experience playing against each other as well, in various other tournaments. And a map like Villa, this is going to be very, very fun to watch, I reckon. Very fun.
Yeah, two evenly sided teams. I think in the Twitter poll, 6IXNATIONHQ had the advantage, a little bit ahead, but obviously with the change, AJ, who has been such an integral part of the team for such a long time, now not being involved, it's going to throw things a little bit out. You know, we don't know necessarily how this 5 is going to work together, how they're going to be able to mesh. So could throw the favor a little bit towards RANDYS, but we know how good 6Nation can be. So I'm expecting a strong performance from them regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And again, this idea of it could go either way right now. And I guess the only way we can determine how this is going to go is just by getting right stuck into the action. Realistically, again, both these teams, they will know this map like the back of their hand. A lot of experience here on both sides. This is going to genuinely, I know I keep saying it, and I know it's a meme, but it's a barn burner, you know, it's an absolute barn burner. And I want to be seeing the way that these Rome games are being played, because I know realistically I expect the utility game to be on fleek on both sides. It's just going to come down to those pinches ultimately on such a large map like Villa. This is going to be very exciting indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the last 2 games of Villa, we've seen that the Rome game has been critically important, and the ability to hard breach and, you know, actually work your way on into the objective sometimes has been the deciding factor within rounds. The operator bans have changed things up quite a bit. Obviously, in the first match, there was nothing affecting the hard breaches. That was a really pivotal part of it. In the second, the emphasis was less put on the hard breaching and more put on the ability to roam and take those gunfights and be aggressive. I'm expecting that we'll see something in between in this one, as they're going to both try and go for a little bit of that aggression and a little bit of that playing around each other and playing as part of a team.
Absolutely. And again, very curious to see how these bans are going to go, because thus far, I mean, we've had Jackal banned out every single Villa match thus far, so maybe third time's the charm. Realistically, 6 dying on defense and knowing them, I reckon there we are. Yeah, classic bans we're probably going to see from them. Those more tactical, by the book bans, things like the Thatcher, of course. And how will RANDYS retaliate now? Realistically, again, maybe a hard breach, maybe something to that effect. Maybe the Ayana ban would be quite impactful actually here, to be honest, but no, the Flores, even, okay, fair enough, yes. If you're not banning the Ayana, also the Flores is good too. Again, that utility clear. So you've got the Thatcher and the Flores taken away, which are very impactful at clearing a lot of that defender utility. Which again, starting on attack, that's a little bit risky to have that kind of ban. But RANDYS must be confident to go 6 rounds without that kind of operator arsenal in their back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking at this final band come on through, it is going to be the Mirror, pretty standard. No Valk play today, no Mirror play today either. So, you know, pretty standard for a Villa matchup, wanting to make sure that when you get onto those site pushes, you've got as much going away as possible. As Mirror, she's siege metas I find are often cyclical. Mirror was massively in meta, then she was banned all the time, so wasn't in the meta, and then everyone sort of stopped banning her and no one played her. Now everyone plays her all again, and it's back to being a prominent ban that you see a lot of teams go for. So just very classic to see that be the case, as we are actually going to see an Echo. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I really like Echo, and that's upset me.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Maybe they're saving it, or maybe they're trying to bait something there. Because again, if you are preoccupied with looking for those yokai drones, that's going to be a little bit of a time waste. But at the same time, 6ing onto the pulse, it's going to potentially, unless they're spotted out in this drone phase, it's going to catch them a little bit off guard. They're not going to know, okay, they've got all this intel on us. Love the fact that we're seeing Maggie on the Ying, can I just say as well. I mean, realistically, this is a bit of a sweaty lineup on the attack there, Dino. You know, you've got the hard breach, you've got the Ayana, of course. Ayana's a very standard lineup is featured now, though we've seen changes to Ashe and Zofia in all tiers, to be honest. We're seeing the Ayana be brought out. You've got the Thinker there, you've got the Jackal, and you've got the Ying. That's a little bit naughty.
And what's also a little bit naughty is how 6Nation are choosing to play this objective, going for the old school, we're just going to stack C4s and hope you go upstairs so we can just blow up the floor beneath you, as we've got the pulse on his scanner. But it looks like we're going to see a little bit of an aggressive play coming through. No real pressure applied to the top floor 4 now coming through from the attack, looking like they're going to go for much more of a lateral take. As we're going to see try upside down rappelling on the pantry window. You can get some nice long lines of sight, as the pulse is going to be calling out that there are some coming on in through laundry. Holes being opened up above to allow for C4s to be thrown on over. As there goes the Incandela, the push starting to come on through. The Thinker hasn't been used or deployed just yet, but Lua is going to get that opening kill. Clawberry is going to get one back, and just a flurry back and forth. RANDYS wind up with the man advantage. It's now 3 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 2, as the Pulse is going to pull it back into an even man count. Maggie starting to swing on around, loses a lot of HP to that Pulse, playing behind Tetris, as the plant is now starting to go on down. The swing coming on through from the Mozzie gets one, and now the plant wasn't stuck, but the Mozzie is on incredibly low HP, just trying to hide, just trying to play safe, as the plant starting to come on through now. Playing behind Tetris is the ace. Diffuser down successfully, the swing, the peak, and that is going to be the RANDYS winning round number 1.
Yep. And again, so close to the nail, and this is exactly what I think we're going to see this throughout the entire map, and if we don't, I'm going to be very surprised. But again, I think it's really going to come down to the nail every single round. Very interesting indeed. And again, it's a lot of confidence coming through from RANDYS. And I do, it's a bit of a sweaty lineup, but I appreciate the fact that they're going to take it again unless they're about to 6 one of these operators. But I respect the commitment, to be honest, Dino.
Please go to Echo. Please go to Echo. Please go to Echo. Straub, come on. It's not going to happen, and I'm going to be so upset. I've been teased once by the potential of an Echo, and it's going to haunt me for the rest of the night.
What's going to haunt me is the Lion and Ying combo.
The year 3 season 2 trenches, Grace. That's where I was molded as a man. 700 games of ranked in that one season, and it changed me as an individual. But
I understand. I really understand. I too have flashbacks. No, I think it's a level of sweat the Randys are bringing right now, and I am here for it, and I respect it. And again, it's that mid-season, the next three play days, roughly, yeah, the mid-season. So that's gonna be when people are gonna be a little bit spicy with it. I said this throughout the night, and I am fully okay with that. I want to see the spice.
My only question is Finka really the right choice? I know that she can provide a lot to the team in sort of those frag nades and being able to revive down players, and obviously all the benefits you get from those stim boosts. I just feel something like a Capital, always a strong pick, or potentially someone to assist with the hard breaching so you don't have so much pressure being applied to just one player, could potentially be a beneficial alternative.
Or even, you know, if they really want to give us flashbacks, it could be the Doka Lion combo.
True, but it's going to be Midnight to get the opening kill of this round as Maggie goes down, so we won't have to worry about those Ying flashbacks or flashbangs either at all in this round, which is going to make us both quite happy, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that line utility get popped a little bit there, but I mean, this is an interesting thing too. So about a minute has gone. They've got full kind of closet and bedroom control now, and they can start to use this utility burn now. But again, what would be really beneficial right now is if they had something like those EMPs or those Flores drones, but they don't, because those bans are going to be so impactful, honestly. Lewis going to manage to revive her teammate there on the...
Oh, no!
Lewis going to res her only to kill her and also kill Assyria as well. So that was a little bit chaotic there in that bedroom area. But there's that Lion drone coming through again, and they can start working this aggression on this doorway. They just need a little bit of utility to do it, but there's only one flashbang left in Tribatten's pocket. Lua does have a grenade as well, but again, there's two pieces of utility left to deal with these, and there we go. Amy Lee is going to be aided there with the flash, but the timing doesn't quite manage to land a shot. It's getting a little bit flustered here in the old bedroom area.
Lua trying to take a prone angle as Lisa's just going to play back, starting to apply some pressure through bathroom is the Lion, and that's going to be a trade kill. Headshots going both ways as Lisa's going to swing on around and take down Amy Lee, denying the plant potential for now. Claudebury is going to get that frag onto Lua. She tried to change up the angle and attack through the Hibana hole, or the Ace hole even. Hibana is not being played. And yeah, just all in all, very solid defense coming through from 6Nation.
Absolutely, 100%. And again, it's so even at this point, one for one. And again, I really want to reiterate that I do think it's going to keep being like this, to be honest. You know, this is going to be a very close matchup. I think both these teams are going to start sweating. And it's not going to stop. And the thing is as well is when we consider the kind of lineups and the creativity and the level of sweat the Randys are willing to bring on their attack, what are they willing to bring on their defense? Are we going to see the spawn peaks come through? I'm going to predict early, okay? I know it's only round 3. I'm going to predict we're going to see some spawn peakage.
That's a bold prediction. I mean, even in the Delta Project game, where they very much felt in the driver's seat from the get-go, we didn't see any spawn peaks come out. And you're going to say that in this matchup where arguably the teams are more evenly balanced, is someone from 6Nations just going to absolutely go for it?
I don't think 6. I think Randys. When they're on their defense, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them. Like, genuinely, if anyone is going to do it this evening, if we're going to see anything like that, it is going to come from Randys, trust me. Whether or not they will, yet to be determined. Perhaps I will eat my words.
I mean, the name would live up to it. It is what a stack of Randys would do. Just, yeah, shoot out that window, see what happens. No spawn peaks coming through from 6Nation in this round, so the predictions holding true so far is, you know, not going to go for the same direct push on through Laundry that they attempted before, but they're still not really going for that top-down aggression, which is going to play into the hands of 6Nation. As we are going to see this Yana Gemini going to clear out a lot of information. highlight that there is one player sitting close with a shotgun. As Straub going to drop on down, but it's going to get caught out, and Maggie's going to be there to finish off the kill.
Yeah, and again, that was a really unfortunate timing there for Straw because, again, obviously very unaware that Maggie was holding that angle to see if Midnight was going to suddenly swing out upon her. And then, yeah, you're just trying to make that rotate at that moment. Very unfortunate indeed. That line drone's going to go down. And we're also seeing the Finker boost come down at the same time. So, again, good coordination there from the side of RANDYS, using that utility at the same time, but then no push, really. Then, which again you would assume if they're doing something like that, it's because they're about to get aggressive on that doorway. So we're seeing a bit of hesitance here, Dino.
Yeah, and potentially a little bit of confusion as it looks like they're attempting to clear out the basement, or is Iana just wanting to go for a pantry flank? If this is just a pantry flank, it's bit of the long way round of doing it, as you're going to see the last 4 players from Six Nations sitting inside of the objective. Maggie trying to go for a flank up the red stairs, seeing if anyone's going to be caught out inside of Memorial, as we are going to see Iana get 1 kill onto Assyria and start to potentially get aggressive going on into the site. No, Lisa's going to get the kill onto Lua, keeping the man count even as Iana chose not to get more aggressive. Claudebury is going to get the frag back onto Maggie, and we're going to see Tribaton get lit up a lot as Midnight is going to get the kill onto Iana. It's now just a 1 versus 3 with this Lion.
Yes, indeed. And again, using that utility to try and bait out these defenders that may be getting a little bit aggressive. So they're going to hold those tight angles while they can. I think they are aware of the positioning now. Oh, there we go. They are aware where she's coming from, and Claudebury is going to clean her up before she has a chance to try and at least get 1 pick onto them.
From the original perspective, that angle just looked so small that shot came from the pulse, but a good defense coming through from Six Nation that time around, not getting overwhelmed.
Which again, it's an interesting one, really, because well, we're seeing the operator changing now from the side of Randy, so we're going to see the Twitch come out instead. We're not seeing the Lion being brought now. They've decided, okay, we've tried that enough, and they're not going to adapt. They're not going to react to it, even if we're popping that drone. They're not going to get aggressive. They're just going to play it very safe and very securely. So of course, it does make sense to start bringing out just a little bit of a nicer utility there. Again, some utility clear of those switch drones, very beneficial, especially when we have the Flores and the Thatcher banned out. That's going to be very, very useful, especially for this site as well, because there are probably going to be some nasty little places to place that utility, especially things like the Malusis, the Aruni gates, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mean, if we do see Six Nation win this round, it will mean that they've done a full defensive rotation successfully. That's going to give them a lot of confidence to go back round to Statue Trophy to close this half out, or to close out the closing half of this half. That's a really complicated way of saying a very simple sentence, but we got there in the end.
We did, and that's all that matters. Again, I love the fact that Lisa and Midnight are playing close together. This is what I mean with this kind of extended roam. You've got to have 2 people playing relatively close together so you can have someone there for the refrag. A lot of people do overlook this still, which can be quite not infuriating, but a little bit kind of, oh no. Disappointing, I'll say.
I wanted you to just leave that at a little bit of oh no, to be honest with you, because that, I think, sort of encapsulates the emotions in a much purer form. But you know, we're going to see a lot of this pressure starting to come on through from the study balcony. The Iana Gemini doesn't get very far before it gets shot on out, so they're aware that someone's keeping an eye on the situation at the very least. As Lua, wanting to get aggressive and start to push on in, is going to clear out the close angle and get rid of that barb. But a Aruni gate is going to slow things down if they want to try and clear out the top of those stairs.
Absolutely. Again, though, half the time gone, no kill has been taken on either side yet. Everyone's still very much alive at 5v5. We're seeing a little bit of utility underneath. I was assuming that was actually going to be on that elbow towards main stairs, but Callaghan actually deciding to not use that just yet, which again, a bit of a shame. Could be very useful and impactful at creating a bit of a pushback down towards site more to allow these attackers to make further ground. Ooh! Lua getting bolshy with it, trying to take down Isira there, but Callaghan's going to take down Clawberry, and Lisa's going to fight back in retaliation with a nice little trade onto her. This is now a 3v4, Dino.
Make that a 3v3 as Amy Lee is going to follow up and get one more kill. Lua holding a very tight angle, but it's going to be Straub to get the kill. Not able to land the shot, but Amy Lee with the immediate trade doing absolute bits in this round for RANDYS. And she's now going to get on into a position to go for the plant. Midnight rotating up the stairs is going to be a bit far away to be able to help. And Lisa as well, not even in the objective. The swing round with the shotgun isn't going to get anything. The last second dive to try and deny the plant isn't going to be successful. As now... What? The C4 panicked me so much. I thought that she was going to detonate it at her feet. But no, the ace worked out behind the maps and was able to get that kill. The outplay not working in favor of 6Nation that time around.
No, not indeed. And again, it's getting a little bit close to nail, which I did expect would happen a lot of the time, but it's almost becoming so to the nail that it's becoming chaotic. You know, we even saw at the end there, you know, the plant is going down. There's not really anything you have to prevent that. You have to go for the swing with the shotgun. We saw Midnight attempt it, but someone was obviously holding that angle, and it's just this very chaotic end to the rounds on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa still had a C4 and was playing far away from site. I presume she was playing downstairs initially. Realistically, you should know where the default plant spot is, particularly behind that vault door. So I would have liked to have seen that C4 come through, as that would have probably won the round for 6Nation. Instead, just having to get aggressive from both these players didn't work out for them. Weren't able to land the shots, and RANDYS are going to take that every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose I feel like obviously there's 2 more rounds left on this defense, and it's very nice to see RANDYS actually get a few rounds in their pocket. It's just I'm curious to see how these next 2 rounds are going to go, because ideally 6 need to go into the second half with the advantage. If RANDYS do, it could get very, very dangerous, because again, I think they are going to play a bit of a naughty setup on their defense, judging just on what they've brought on their attack. It's going to be an interesting one, Dino, an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, I do like the switch up that we've seen in the recent rounds when Maggie has gone on to the Zofia, being able to bring that soft destruction. Yes, there's a lot of people are struggling with the assault rifle. The recoil on it has been increased quite noticeably, but that LMG is a little slower, but still very nice to use. A good, easy gun to control, and those impacts and stuns provide so much utility that even to this day, I still think she's a must pick, as Lisa just walking on by is just going to get a drive-by shooting on Lua and take the thinker out of the round within the first minute. C4 to follow up onto Tri-Baton. Nice attempt, but not able to come on through, but Lisa's just able to get away.
Yeah, indeed. And again, following suit with Midnight, it would appear... Oh, I know. I think she's actually staying. I was going to say, I thought she was going to follow Midnight back to site. Oh, it looks like she's dropped down to basement, and she's going to go for the long flank there. Again, this kind of way of playing, I do respect it a lot, especially on a map like Villa. It can be dangerous if you are left by yourself, because as soon as you're taken down, you're down. There, as we just see here, yeah, Maggie's going to take down Lisa. No one's there for the refrag. However, because she'd already wasted a ton of time, Tri-Baton's not even in the bathroom still, and they've half the rounds gone. They have to start clearing that side of the map. They have to start making their way towards site. They have to start putting pressure on that 90 corridor.
Yeah, and Midnight's position, because of like the time and how little they're going to have when they start to push on through past this statue side, they're not really going to be able to clear it out. Or if they do, it's going to, you know, they'll only have the option to deal with one, either Midnight or presumably the crossfire that's going to be held from inside of the objective or study. So this is at least good for 1 kill, I think, from Midnight. The angle is being checked, the shotgun spotted, and I was entirely wrong. That is very unfortunate.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah,
I
indeed.
appreciated the attempt, Midnight. I want you to know that.
Yeah, it could have been really, really useful. It could have absolutely caught them off guard. That's the thing, and it's something, you know, even if you get that 1 pick, it's still and less players for the defense to deal with. But yeah, I think certainly sticking close to site now, and we're going to see the full south cover here. We're seeing Straub Corby on the site. Each and Nasira is going to probably drop between the two of them because they know this attack entirely is coming from the north now. And whoa, my goodness gracious me, Amy trying to go for the quick collapse there, but is ultimately going to get taken down. Tribaton's going to take down Straub in retaliation, and this plant is going to start getting stuck. Kerrigan has done this really long rotate here. Oh, I was going to say, Claude looking for the head of these players, but Kerrigan is going to shut her down before she can cause any carnage there. Very solid there from the attackers. And good call on the flank, the rotate rather, as well.
Yeah, I'm a little saddened by the rotation through study coming through from the Malusi. You know that the push is coming from the north side. You know that they're all coming from inside the building. One player has rotated around onto study, but they don't have any of the study walls open. It's going to provide a nice line of defense. You can stop that plant dead in its tracks, and you just have that one player from study to worry about. Things, in my opinion, start looking a little bit better for you. 6Nation, though, not able to make it happen, and that is going to be RANDYS now taking the lead in this one.
Attackers need to locate and
Again,
defuse as
you
many
know,
bombs
if they
as
go
can.
into their defense on a 4-2, that is solid for them. That is so solid. 6Nation, obviously, they want to equalize here. Again, I'd be very surprised if they don't manage to, but at the same time, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like if RANDYS take it here, I really think that's gonna set the momentum. And again, very curious how their defense is gonna go. If 6 take it here, I reckon we're gonna see this constant back and forth the whole time, honestly.
Attempt the plant and ultimately force those last few defenders to go for that take. And that's one thing that 6Nation really struggled with, is those last dying seconds being able to get set up into an appropriate position and deal with the attempted plant situations.
I was going to say, I'm really curious about Maggie on this Aruni. Of course, people keep bringing Aruni this evening. But I was curious to see how that utility was going to get used, and ultimately it's just a quick way to get up in towards the site sooner rather than later. Again, maybe it's a gun thing? Maybe people are just really backing the gun at the moment?
I mean, then you've got IQ, who, like, at least gives you a little bit of something. But Kerrigan is going to get one. Lua's going to get the follow-up onto Straub. Clawbury is going to get the trade back onto Lua, so not just a complete stomp to start this round off, but definitely the advantage to the RANDYS as it's looking like they could finish this one on a 4-2 in their favor. Clawbury gets one more. Kerrigan finally finishes off Clawbury. 3 versus 2 as Maggie's actually worked her way into the objective. Is going to take a fight onto Lisa inside a bedroom. The defenders are now holding the bedroom and the attackers have the site.
Oh no. That is not what we want to see. A hole of death being opened up on that breach wall there. Tribaton's going to try and stick the plant in a very dangerous place, to be honest. This is a little bit risky biscuits. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a rotate towards the hole from Asira, but she can't quite get there in time, can she? No, she can't. Maggie is going to take her down before she can cause any carnage here. It's all left down to Lisa in a 1v2 post-plant situation. C4 is going to come out, but it doesn't quite land on anyone, and that Nomad air jab is going to tell them exactly where she is, so Maggie can line up that shot. That is RANDYS, a 4-2 attacking. That is not bad at all, Dino.
Not bad at all. That's brilliant. I mean, it's Villa, and you've won your attacks. You've set yourselves up perfectly going on into your defenses. Now, you do often see matchups where if one side, especially on Villa, does really well on the attack, the other side might be able to follow up and, you know, repeat, and we'll have a 4-2 split this time in favor of 6Nation's attacks. But I mean, in those last few rounds, 6Nation really didn't look like they had it all put together. Whereas RANDYS sort of had the clear plan from start to finish. Yeah, they were a little slow at times, but it didn't really stop them at all.
No, I think this is the thing. It's you know, certainly going into this defending half, it's going to set the momentum for them. Realistically, I was going to say I think 6 are going to be a bit safer with the way they chose to do their attack, and certainly we can see that from these operator picks. We've got the 0, we've got the Habana, we've got the Ayana. And then we've got the soft destructibility on the sledge and the Zofia, to be honest. Again, I think this is a very, like, what I will call a safe lineup. And it makes sense because, again, they know that they're at the round disadvantage right now. They know they're going on to the attack, which does, again, still have a slight disadvantage on this map. So it makes sense for them to play safe. At the same time, I think RANDYS know that they're going to be playing a bit safe, and the easiest way to deal with a team that might go a bit more safer, a bit more passive, a bit more patient, is to suddenly bring a ton of aggression, isn't it, Dino?
Absolutely. And you are hoping for a spawn peak, but it's not going to be the case in this round. RANDYS going to keep their heads away from the windows to begin with. And 6Nation looking like they're all just going to team up full buddy system. And aside from Zero on Lisa, who is going to be taking a slightly different approach to the objective, taking up that 90 window position to catch any rotations away, as Lisa's actually going to be the one to get the opening kill of the round. So that's going to be Maggie falling nice and early on.
Yeah, it's again this really nice crossfire that you often see here. But Amy Lee on the flank there. Can she cause carnage? Yes, she can. Taking down Lisa to begin with. Doesn't quite manage to take down Clawberry. Clawberry is going to get the trade very quickly. But again, that is still an impactful kill for the side of 6Nation. They have the player advantage now, and that's certainly going to help them as they approach towards this site. Dino, they just have to go for a nice setup now, a clean-cut setup.
Yeah. I mean, 6Nation losing Lisa, who is their second highest frag at the moment. That is just 50 points right there, 40 points right there for Iana. I'm just going to go with Iana. Loads of points right there as just all of that utility lined up to deal with Master Bedroom. Nothing to stop this take that's going to come up on through. Iana wanting to get aggressive on this doorway and get some challenges going on. There's the swing on around. Lua too busy with the drones, just going to get wiped out. And now it's a 2 versus 3 as Tribatton's going to get that kill on Iana.
Yes, indeed. And again, this really nice angles being held, so they know exactly where this attack's approach is coming from. They just have to hold these angles because it's going to be one of 2 doors essentially. And again, applying that pressure, but Storm has managed to sneak in ever slightly into the trophy area, and that plan is going to go down. Midnight getting the pick onto Tribatton. It's all left down to Culligan, and there we go. Midnight with the second kill. It's going to finish this off for her team. The first attacking round in the favor of 6Nation.
And we might see this turn out to be a 6Nation dominant attacking half. And I mean, the expectation is that RANDYS will be able to put it all together, seeing as they are the ones on defense here, but not always the case. And we are going to see them choose to go back to Trophy Statue. The Thunderbird is being shown, at least for the time being. Now, the big thing is that initial roam game, Maggie was just entirely isolated, and I believe it was Amy Lee was able to get 1 and then was just trapped and died immediately afterwards. If there's a bit more coordination going on between them, or if they get the timing right, they could do a lot of damage, because 6Nation didn't really secure their flanks at any point. They just kind of got those kills and went, right, we'll just attack the objective.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to see the Capcan get brought out as well, to be honest. I'm wondering how impactful that's going to be, how much that's going to catch people a little bit off guard. Again, those traps are overpowered, to be honest, in my opinion. Like, half your HP gone. And again, if you're not droning efficiently, you can just die very quickly. And it's the most frustrating way to die as well, because it's not even like you lost the gunfight. You just walked into a doorway and suddenly you're dead. Like,
just thrown forehead.
Just so frustrating. So frustrating.
Just drone forehead, I do believe, is the appropriate response there. But it does, you know, it acts as a good early warning system quite a lot of the time. Was that I think that was Amy Lee going for a spawn peak and just got tagged up in response. Wasn't able to get anything from it. But yeah, as we are going to see basically the same sort of push coming through from 6Nation. Setting up to go for this study take, and they are going to have some reinforcements to deal with this time around, as it looks like the Vigil is going to play a much more concerted hold inside of map room.
Again, it's interesting because I figured with how patient and safe Six are playing, Randy's would retaliate with aggression, but they're not actually bringing that aggression really as much as I thought they would be. Well, as I say, that tri-pattern is going to get the pick onto Ysera, but I wasn't quite sure where that was from, to be honest.
I think that's by the couch all the way next to the statue door through like 4 different doorways, able to get the headshot. As Kerrigan, I think her location is still going to be unknown. Nope, never mind. Straub going to get the headshot kill and take down the Vigil there. Does lose a lot of HP in return. So these teams are about even right up until Maggie presses that button and destroys Lisa. Lua's going to get taken down by Midnight, but Straub is down at the same time as well. Midnight almost getting the pre-fire kill onto one more as Amy Lee just swings on around and finishes off Straub, but Clawbury is there to finish it off in return. This is now, Grace, a very hectic 2v2 with a lot of time left on the clock for the attackers.
Hectic being the right word there, to be honest, Dino. And again, it's that aggression that we're finally seeing come through from RANDYS, but a little bit too sporadic. I think this is the aggression we need to see from the get-go at the start of the rounds. And I think that will be the most impactful because, again, there's this massive tentativeness coming through from 6. Even now, they're being so patient with it. But, of course, if you're in a 2v2, everyone just wants to hold their angles, mind their P's and Q's, so to speak. If you're on the side of 6 right now as well, it's making this approach as safely as possible still. But again, utility dumping the best you can to help aid that. And there we go, this Capcan trap coming through. It's going to down Clawbury and put Midnight on the tiniest sliver of health, about 25 HP or so. And she's not going to res her teammate, she's going to push through. And there we go, Maggie and Tri-Baton finishing that off with very little effort again, to be honest, because those Capcan traps did a majority of the work there. And this is what I mean, you know, there is the most, you're not expecting it and it just happens, and it's so frustrating to go against that as an attacker. Oh my goodness gracious.
I just want to admit, I found that really funny when Tri-Baton went to throw the C4, because I presume she saw the P10 Roni in her hand and thought, I'm playing Mozzie, I have a C4 in her pocket, to realize that no, she was playing a Rooney and only has barbed wire. And I could imagine that being a far more dangerous circumstance had there not been a giant taxidermy deer in the way. But just an amusing situation I found. But that was a very hectic round from start to finish, as we mentioned. Lots of kills back and forth all the way through. It was ultimately those Capcans that were the difference maker. That was a little bit of that aggression that you were talking about coming through from RANDYS, willing to take those fights. And 6IXNATION sort of very willingly isolating themselves and getting caught into these 1v1s without really the potential of trading.
I mean, this again, I'm seeing Kerrigan kind of roaming over there, and I was really hoping we'd see her kind of setting up for a bit of a spawn peak situation.
5 seconds left.
Doesn't quite seem like it's going to go that way just yet, though. I mean,
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
maybe I'm too hopeful for that. Maybe I'm too hopeful. I do think it would work, though. This is the thing. I really do. Like, again, how tentative 6 are being on this approach, and by the book, I suppose. It's tentative, but by the book. Very easy to predict if you do want to go for something aggressive like a spawn peak. But I guess I'll have to hold on just a little bit longer. I can't have everything, can I, Dino?
Absolutely not. But, I mean, an easy to predict attack generally has easy to predict counters. So, you know, the spawn peaks, while might be easy for RANDYS to know which one would be the most effective, it's almost as likely that 6IXNATION know precisely how to deal with it, as it looks like potentially a little bit of a server issue as everyone is frozen running in place, and we just got caught up to a lot of people moving very, very quickly. So let's make a recount of the positions. Clawbury is inside of the site, or inside of study, throwing frag nades over on into the site. Jaeger's still sitting around, wanting to get aggressive, and Midnight holding down long 90 with that LMG, trying to just pray that someone will try her.
Praying someone will try her, indeed. Again, it's patient, but it's very strong. They're holding these angles where they need to. They're not getting overly aggressive with it, and I think that's a lot of self-discipline, to be honest, from the side of Six. That's very admirable. Culligan in this position in living room as well. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one for the ladies of Six Nation to clear. Maggie is going to fall, however, to Lisa, and that's going to be the cue for Culligan to rotate back to site up red stairs. Again, I think that's very safe from the side of RANDYS, to be honest. Again, considering how aggressive they've played this up until now, that is a very safe move to make.
Yeah, but essentially the right one, as Clawberry is going to follow up and get that kill onto Lure. Looks like want to try and rotate on in through the breach. Tribatton's going to get one, but Straub has actually been able to work her way behind the bar and is going to go for the plant. No C4 is going to come on out and try to deny this just yet. And now we find ourselves in a post-plant situation. Hibana popping up from behind the counter is going to take the head clean off of Tribatton, and Midnight's going to follow it with one. Curligan able to bring this back and is actually going to get the follow-up as well onto Isira to bring us now into a 1 versus 1. Midnight full HP, LMG in hand in the corner, but not prepared. Curligan with the headshot for the quad and the disable. And that is going to be RANDYS now sitting on match point, Grace.
Defender mission successful.
Match point indeed, and again, it's interesting because I'm still not seeing the exact level of aggression I thought we were going to see. We're seeing aggression certainly from RANDYS, but not the level I thought it would be. And yeah, match point. This is where the pressure's definitely on for Six, because they have to win 3 rounds in a row to pull this to overtime. Realistically, though, Dino, they were really doing a good job of it that last round, and I think if they keep up that kind of a way of approaching, I think it's gonna be, their chances are high at pulling this back, to be honest. I don't think that's too bold for me to say.
I think that the big difference maker here for Six Nation is that they don't have AJ, and it's that just teamwork and sort of that mesh you have with one another is what you need in situations like this, so you can really support and really lift each other up and just be able to play off each other in a more natural style. And without AJ around, there's a bit of changes to the team. Everyone's trying to fit in, find the new positions and what they want to do. And I'm not saying that Isira's played bad. That is not what I'm saying at all. She's played very well. The whole team of Six Nation has played very well. It's just that coordination as a unit isn't there today in the same way that we're seeing it for RANDYS.
Yeah, and again, it's difficult when you have a roster change during the season, when the season has already started, because it's how much scrum time you actually have to mesh together. I completely get what you're saying. And again, I think RANDYS at the moment, they have a longer time playing together as their 5 stack over the 6 one. Again, it is interesting though, because of all the maps to go to for this matchup, this was a really good one. I did think it would be a lot closer, so I think if RANDYS take it now, I'll be a little bit surprised, but not because I think, RANDYS have done a terrible job, because they haven't at all. It's just more the fact that I did think this matchup would be a lot closer, and I think there's a few matches this evening that, I was expecting overtime, and potentially we're not going to see overtime.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rounds that Six Nation have lost have been very close. There's been no sort of absolutely one-sided affairs coming through from RANDYS. So a strong showing from both teams all the way through. RANDYS just able to put it together in those clutch moments more consistently. As we are going to see what could be the final round of this game start to play out. Droning out the top floor, Curligan is going to sit tucked in a corner. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. And now with the drones finally definitely confirming her location, she's just going to get on out of there and make sure that she doesn't get caught. But this is going to give up all of that top floor control to the attackers, as Lua is going to get that C4 kill onto Clawberry, the leading fragger for Six Nation throughout this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be an impactful opening kill for them to get. They've also got that Thunderbird utility constantly, topping up their health, constantly overhealing them, to be honest. And again, it's this idea that even if Six start to get that top floor control and they start to get those picks off, it's how impactful that's going to be when you've got constantly overstimmed people to go up against.
Asira getting a little bit of that control, getting rid of the Thunderbird inside the side. Oh, the timing just looking away, but it doesn't appear that the defender knows what's going on. This could be a free kill for the attack, and that is going to be the case as Amy Lee will fall. The roaming mute caught as victim, as Tribatten is going to follow up though and get the trade kill onto Sarah Curligan as well, getting one onto Midnight before Straub is finally able to take down Curligan, putting us now into a 2 versus 3. But Grace, with only 35 seconds left, this isn't looking good for 6Nation.
No, Straub with the diffuser, the polar opposite side to Lisa. I mean, realistically, would it be better for them to be together right now? It's a very hard call to make, especially when Maggie's that close to the doorway by Grammar. It's going to be very, very difficult. And again, Lisa's going to start making her approach there into Memorial, but it's very, very tricky. And Straub still has this gate to deal with. Send in a flash. There we go. She sends in a flash and is downed actually by Lua. Maggie is going to finish off Straub. That is so unfortunate. I do think Six played that really well, but well played, Randys, for absolutely securing that Dubbington. We do love to see it. A 7-3 victory. That is good going, to be honest. That's really good going.
Yeah, another game where the scoreline doesn't really show the full story. It was much closer in a lot of these rounds than a 7-3 would suggest. As 6Nation did a good job from start to finish. They had the upper hand initially. I thought they were going to be quite strong and really start to pick up a lot of momentum with their defenses. Ultimately, not to be. And all in all, just a good win for Randys. A lot of clutch situations going their way and a lot of capability being shown by them from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's this idea that I thought that would be so much more close. I didn't get my spawn peak either, which I was a little bit disappointed
I think
about.
Amy Lee did go for one, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And she got lit up.
But it's the idea that they, as soon as they start playing into that aggression, it's just nice to see. Because again, I do think that's what benefited them a lot during this. Six got more and more passive as the match went on, and Randy started retaliating with a bit more aggression. Although I will say in that final round, it was almost like they started off aggressive, and then towards the end, it kind of died off a little bit, and then that final 10 seconds or so, it just got aggressive again because they realized, like, what, we are just going to go for it. We're going to take them down. They're split up a little bit. We can do this. We're not going to actually have an interview from the side of Randy's. No one's been put forward for an interview, so I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen.